to another species, into another race. And if you remember your own adolescence, it was a painful time. The species, the race, is going through adolescence. But we're not alone. We're being helped. We have family out there that's helping us. And they've been helping us for a long time. They've been trying to encourage us and nourish us and try to point the right direction for us to go. Because we are troublesome adolescent children. And we are going through that transformation. But my point is that there is no doubt about the inevitable destiny and truth of the human race. Now I want to quote something from you, if you'll bear with me here. One of my favorite authors, poets, was a man I've admired for years, Count Leo Tolstoy. Tolstoy said that there is something in the human spirit that will survive and will prevail. That will survive and prevail, and that there is a tiny and brilliant light burning brightly in the heart of man that will not go out no matter how dark the world becomes. And then in the years ahead, when things are difficult, the economic problems take place, there will still be disruptions, fear, hope. Sadly enough, I'm afraid there will still be blood in the streets, here, there, and everywhere. This coming out of adolescence is not an easy process. But then, what do you do when you reach beyond adolescence? You reach adulthood. You grow. And we're growing up. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my journey is coming to an end. But for many of you out there, your journey has just begun. And I want to say something to you before I leave the stage this afternoon. No matter how dark the world becomes, be sure, as Tolstoy said, there is a spark, there is a flame burning in your heart that will never go out, no matter how dark the world becomes. And as my journey is coming to a close, and some of you, your journey is just beginning, I wanted to say to you, in a term that I think is absolutely appropriate, you Spaniards have got some beautiful terms and words. Vaya con Dios. I learned this term in Italy. I've never been to Spain before. Italy is one of my places that one of my favorite places. I love the Italians. Now I'm learning to love the Spaniards. In Italian, I learned to say this, and I will say it to you, and I understand you know the meaning because it's very similar. In closing, I want to say to you all, ti amo.
Bien, ha llegado el momento del descanso. Sí quería comentarles que justo
I'm Carrie Cassidy from Project Camelot.
Oh. You need a microphone if you want to.
Henry has something he wants to say to Bob.
This is her idea.
And we just want to say something here. This is Henry Deacon from Project Camelot, for those of you who are familiar with our website. And he's here today, and he's here at the conference. He has something he'd like to say to Bob. About Mars. About Mars.
I don't have any words, but Bob has expressed everything that I would have said. I can confirm it because I've been working in top secret for 30 years, above top secret. We've shared a common background, but I just met him recently here, and I can only say that, yes, there's life on Mars, there are bases on Mars. I've been there. And
I didn't even get started on telling you some of the things I wanted to share this afternoon about who and what is on the moon and Mars, but I'll let Henry tell us.
it's a long story, as he said. There's not enough time to put it all together. Except that it's a positive story. It's not one of fear. He showed a picture of the Mother Earth, and it's giving birth, and there's birth pangs, but there's a child that's being born. And just forget about the fear, because that's just a really temporary thing. So a friend of mine, Angelica, who no one knows in UK, she calls this the Emerald Planet. And it's alive. Yes, it's very much alive. We're a part of that life form, and it spreads. The life spreads throughout this whole galaxy. And the rest of our family is watching and waiting and helping quietly behind scenes. And I've been fortunate enough to be able to meet family that don't just live here on Terra for a long, long time, even before I was in government work. So thank you. That's all I want to say.
There's no, okay. Henry Deacon, for those of you who don't know.
Am I still broadcasting here? You still hear me? I'm going to ask I was going to share a small story with you before I ran out of time, and I'm going to ask the gentleman to please bear with me and give me just a few moments here. This is for Gogo. I attended my son's retirement ceremony in Washington, D.C. in November. My boy retired in November in Washington as a full captain in the United States Navy after 30 years of service. And while I was at this retirement party, the room was filled with admirals and generals and retired commanders and captains and so on. And we all had something cool in our hands, and we were all moving around among each other, amiably and relaxed, you know. A retired Navy scientist, whose name must remain untold, came up to me, nudged me. He says, "I know you."